You're in.
Good. We're good. Tonight we're going to make the first meal that Drew and I were taught how to make, and that is breaded chicken cutlets, capellini is what we're making, and broccoli rabe. And the first thing we're going to do is make the tomato sauce. It's the marinara sauce. And while a lot of people, have this misconception that it's, some Italian grandmother's secret, and that there's 15 million ingredients. It's pretty much 3 ingredients. You got oil, garlic, and tomatoes. And Drew, while I'm chopping the garlic, Drew's gonna do the blending with the tomatoes. Why don't you tell them what kind of tomatoes they are?
So we use these are San Marzano tomatoes, whole, in juice, not crushed and not pureed. Tomato puree is pureed with the seeds, and the seeds get bitter. So we use whole tomatoes and we do it right in the blender. Most blenders have 2 speeds. Walk and kill. I blended a couple of these already just so we're not, since we're cooking for 10.
And we're hungry.
And we're hungry, exactly. And most blenders, you can actually hear the speed of the motor change, and that's when you know it's done. It's a very direct science. That's just about it. It'll change color to pink from red. You want a little bit of chunks in there, but not too chunky. All right. We're gonna start getting the pot hot.
John and Shirley were actually at the diners, drive-ins, and dives filming that we did. They're a wonderful family, friends, and couple that drive all the way from Princeton just for Andrew's ravioli.
That's correct.
And the glorious company. Atmosphere, low prices. And
You don't have to go that far. The food is really, really good.
tell your friends. Tell your friends.
PineWellTavern.com.
Shameless plug.
We drive 45 to 50 minutes to get here.
All right, so now that the garlic's chopped and the oil's coming up to temperature here.
Are we up to temp?
Yes.
Okay, good. Now, right on the knife. And you want to be careful because you can lose garlic very quickly.
You want the temperature not too high?
Yeah. And keep it, medium heat.
Just gently.
Just a couple.
You just want to shake the pan, make sure you're getting nice color on it. You don't want to make it too dark. You just want to blonde it. They call it blonding.
Yeah.
And basically we're just trying to make not only the garlic toasted, but make the oil taste like roasted garlic.
So you use the oil as well?
Yeah. Whenever I'm having friends over, even if I order takeout, I always just put a little garlic on the stove and some olive oil. It makes the whole house smell.
That smells great. Yeah, no, it really does. Yeah.
And
So, and if you do ever burn it, throw it away and
out.
start over again.
Okay.
Absolutely. Trying to salvage burnt garlic is never a good idea. So it's coming up now. It's starting to change color a little bit. Give it a little shake.
And you really don't need much. I mean, a long time ago, there's a lot of recipes passed through generations that what people don't realize is that, before refrigeration, before how sanitary everything was, you had meat that wasn't exactly good. You had tomatoes that were past their time. So to take the edge off, you hit it with extra garlic. Well, now, there's a lot of recipes that people haven't really adapted, and that's when you go to Italian restaurants sometimes, and you order gabardines, and there's chunks of garlic the size of the gabardine.
Yeah. So now that it's just coming up, it's just blonde, right? Not brown, but blonde. We're gonna add in the tomatoes. A little extra here.
We are cooking for 10.
We are cooking, yeah, absolutely. And then we like to rinse the can out with a little bit of water. You have to give the something to cook off. Otherwise, you're just cooking the tomatoes, and it'll get that burnt flavor right away. So we like to cook it hot and fast, partially because the sauce will stir itself, and it's going to come bubbles. As it turns, it'll turn itself over. You want to check it every once in a while, especially when making a batch this size, to make sure it's not sticking to the bottom. But if it stirs itself, it actually creates a technique that just makes for the best and simple sauce. All right?
Are you guys putting any spices in the sauce?
No, just garlic, olive oil. We're gonna add a little bit of basil, a little bit
Towards the end.
Towards the end.
Because you don't want to throw it in yet because it'll get very
Don't cook it.
it'll overcook.
No sugar, salt, nothing, none of that stuff.
Next,
Nope. Like I said, people like to add sugar because they use puree, and puree is bitter.
Which is bitter. This is already.
This is very, very different.
okay, we have our pan.
And this is going to change color completely from red to almost like a pinkish orange sort of color. And that's when you'll know that it's finished.
Right. You want to keep an eye on it too.
How long are you cooking that for?
Probably somewhere between 15 and 20 minutes. Correct. Once it comes up to a full rolling boil on high, we'll turn it down to medium, medium-high, and let it roll. But this is the basic, and it's a very acidic complement to any sort of cheese that you put on it or any sort of fried dish that you might have.
Next, what we're working on here is the chicken cutlets. And these are sliced a little thinner than you get, in a grocery store. But, boneless.
How do you get them so thin?
Boneless
You
chicken
cut them up
breast.
yourself? Or you
Yeah,
get
what you can do is, if we had more time, we would show, you just take it, butterfly it right down the center, fold it out, cut it in half. You want to keep them nice and thin because if they're too thick, they're going to take too long to cook. You're going to burn, once they're all breaded, you're going to burn the outside and it won't be cooked on the inside. So, when we were brought up, one of Dad's first tricks was one wet hand, one dry hand. The chicken cutlets go into a mixture of egg and a little bit of milk, and you want to keep this hand will always be wet. Drop it into your breadcrumbs, get it situated like that, and then you're going to work with your dry hand like this, and once you get the breadcrumbs on it, give it a flip just like that. And that way, because if you start mixing up, you're gonna get a mess all over yourself. You're gonna have a lot of egg and a lot of breadcrumbs, and you don't need that. So, pretty much what we do here is
With chicken, you can even push a little bit harder with your palm. You want to kind of work those breadcrumbs into it so it doesn't fall off in the dish. Fish, things like that. You want to. It looks like the rest of our guests arrived. You want to make sure that you're being delicate when you're doing things like breading flounder or things like that. But with chicken and veal, you can always give it a little bit of a pound. It helps to really get the breading to stick.
It's amazing how simple this is. Once you get it
sure
going.
is.
it's
You're
like
right.
just-
Whip it, boys. Whip
it.
See, as long as you got a dry hand,
Whip
you can
it.
still shake hands. Jack, how are you, man?
Hey, Jack.
Hey, handsome.
How are you, Dad?
Good seeing you. John. Oh, John, of course.
Hi,
Sure.
Shirley.
Nice to see you.
Nice to
Nice to see you.
How are you?
Hey, Randy.
How are you?
John, hi,
We
Shirley.
just went
How
to
are
your
you?
place, but you were
I'm
closed.
here. Hey, doctor.
Hi, boss.
How are you? Good to see you. How you been?
Terrific.
And as we need it, we'll add a little bit more breadcrumb.
I'm great.
Good.
Don't you look sparkly and fun? Wow.
Thank you.
She's just a spark.
Okay. I mean, if you want, you could kind of. You want to do the chop up the broccoli rabe over there?
No, we have to just.
Well, why don't you finish that, and then I'll cut here, and then we'll finish.